As promised, as promised, John McCants. John McCants is with us. So look, I know that you know who I am, right? You need to know who this guy is. All right, he is our instructor, right? So if you think the stuff I teach is good, oh, it's all good. Jim is another investor, real estate investor here, who was an inspiration, who is an inspiration to me. Thank you, Jim. Yeah, it's awesome, man. The Joker found like a bunch of duplexes from an owner who was like, hey, I'm just tired. I'm tired of being a landlord. And so Jim was like, all right, well, what do you want to do? I just want to sell it to you. Is that a deal or what? So now he's just getting that cash flow, was able to quit his job and everything like that. It was just amazing. So pretty soon, though, you will have John McCants come and talk. Of course, this is real estate investing and talking right now. Okay.
Greatest night of the week.
Switch out. Hey, Bug, what's going on?
My whole world was crashing down. This was my happy zone. Sorry, the people in the back that couldn't hear me. This was my happy zone. I came here because everything else outside of this office was dying. My business was going under. Going to pre-foreclosure. I didn't know how we were going to pay this. But man, I'm so grateful for every single person in this room because luckily today, my wife can stay home with the babies.
It's awesome.
I come here to hang out at the office and, work half days, usually 12 hours. But it's the goal. So why do I do that?
That's good.
For my family. I do because I feel like development.
You sure can. Creditwiz at investorpro.org.
So I'm glad I found people that feel the same way.
520-334-4111. Bug.
So I'm grateful that you're all here.
Can you hear this?
So my name is
Can you hear
Ray.
Ray?
This is my wife, Jamie. We are some of the leaders of this group, and we just want to thank you all for being here tonight. It's going to be exciting. Tonight's a special treat. We have a good friend of mine who's going to be joining us. He's going to be joining us for the next few weeks, possibly a few months. Now, I'm still new to this. Still new to this whole real estate game. This guy's been around for a little bit. 28 years or so. Been involved in thousands of deals. Transactions. Specializes in fixing flips, auction properties, foreclosures. This guy just knows what he's talking about. And he's going to be helping us out today as we go through this epic journey. And that's why we call ourselves the Southerners of Us, because this group is on an epic journey together.
We're sweating our buns off for you.
Let's put your hands together for Mr. John.
All right, folks, you're going to want to listen to what this fella has to say, okay?
Welcome, everybody.
Hello.
So this is the horsepower that's Tucson, right? The Tucson group.
Woo!
There's a show. There's a show. Let's call it at the bend over.
Here we go.
We love it. Horsepower of Tucson, growing a community. The missing link seems to be in real estate investing this day or of time is having enough people around you doing what you're doing so that you can get further faster. Your own. I'll explain to you my story. Who in here has done it on their own and said, could have been done differently. Anybody feel that? It's coming,
Yes.
right? And so it's a big deal. So I'm John McCants, a real estate investor, entrepreneur, pretty much, for 28 years. Well, all my life. I worked for my dad in an insurance agency, sold the insurance agency, went to a bank, worked in the banking department, insurance department of a bank, and quickly realized I just found a job. I didn't work for dad or myself. I worked for somebody else. I had never worked well, other than the tuck shop in high school, which I didn't like because I had to measure tucks for this move right here, which you're inseam that I didn't really like. It was just like, hey, can you tell me how long your pants are? But that's the only job I had other than the bank job. And so, I wanted real estate for like 8 years before I finally decided to do something about it. Probably working with Dad, and probably working for almost 2 years in the insurance support for the bank. And I went to a real estate seminar, $59, and I was the first person in the back of the room. I want to buy that. I want to do it. I didn't realize that $69 led to $6,300, and then a couple $10,000 and $12,000 more seminars. I was like, when is this thing gonna stop? You know, and I realized as I was listening to the guys talking, it's like, you know what? After the last 3 days, after like $32,000, they're setting me up and selling me for the next one. I'm pretty cool. But if it's right, I'm the kind of person that if it's like, you know, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. You know, I was it. Anybody else? And so tonight we're gonna have some fun. And Ray, thank you, Joseph, JC, and Linda, other team leaders in here. You've all come together in this group to do what other communities around the country, and you're gonna hear about it, are doing to create that difference between the old-fashioned way, the Lone Ranger way, and the community-type way of doing this thing. And so, just if you're part of the group Odyssey and part of our system, raise your hand. I just want to see the horsepower. Okay? And if you folks in the room, you guys raise your hand, right? We're still looking for real estate. We're growing and we're looking for you. And we think that you're looking for us. And what we want you to do is just take a look at what we're doing and see if there's a fit for you, because there would be somewhere. We want this thing to happen. Okay? And to go forward, you're gonna learn some things tonight. And some of you have seen some of these things. It's keep doing the same thing over and over and over, and you're going to get good results. If it's good information, do the same thing over and over and over. If it's not good information, the result might be questionable, right? And I'll talk about that. So, welcome. This group is in Utah. Once a year, the groups from all over the country meet in Utah to all congregate as investors and marketers and people growing these groups. In Utah, it's called our national convention, but we're independent. This is the system we plug into, okay? And so let's just drop forward. A word, Ray, you used this last time I was here, and I'd like to use this too. The word opportunity. Opportunity, what's opportunity?
It's a noun, a set of circumstances that makes it possible to do something.
Okay. That makes sense? So what's the opposite of opportunity, possibly? Anybody have a thought? I thought about this. I've seen this word an awful lot. What would be if there's opportunity? What is there? Maybe the cost. Cost. Okay. Okay. How about the status quo?
Ooh.
Let's play with this.
Same old, same old.
Same old, same old. This is possibly the most technical thing I will do all night. Right there.
You want to hand that to me and I'll do it for you?
Sure. So let's just have some fun. Opportunity is a set of circumstances that makes things possible. You're here, the horsepower in this group became part of this because you wanted real estate, right?
Yep.
You wanted a business opportunity. What we really wanted was income. We wanted money. So we could change our life and we could go out and do something different than a job.
Ciao.
Right?
Yes.
I quit my job for this. Okay, plus years ago. So, this will be fun, Joseph. You're the master of whiteboards, and I'm becoming it. So there's opportunity. What are some words that you would put around opportunity? Anybody have any words to make it happen? I have one sentence. Timing. Timing. Yeah. Knowledge. Okay, I'll call that preparation.
I was going to say practice.
Okay. I'm not sure if my writing is as good or bad as yours, Joseph, but that is.
Well, you're the left hand, man.
Okay. Change. New. Okay. Action.
Yes.
Challenge.
Okay. I will. Well, we're getting there. Passion. Let's call it passion. This is what we're talking about. All right. So opportunity, schedule, you got time. Not only time to do it, but a timeline in which you want to do it. What are you going to do in the next 12 months? What are you gonna do in the next 3 years, 5 years?
I'll be looking forward to
What
it.
are you gonna
Bob.
do every day or week or month? Because it's good times to take a day, a week, a month, or 42 days in Spain. We'll show you that here in a minute. Because you gotta know who we are, because we all want some of the same things. Who doesn't want to travel?
Yeah, travel.
Cool climate.
Right.
But a plan, okay? So when someone says to you, hey, there's an opportunity, it's gonna take time, you're gonna set up some time, you're gonna give them knowledge and preparation, passion, and a plan. If we just talked about that, we're missing something. And you hit it on the head, the challenge or the obstacles. So I'm playing with this. The word currently is the opposition.
There you go.
Could be a challenge.
Timothy, that's what I'm talking about.
So,
And that's what we have.
currently means in the definition, if we had the academic, we will.
That's perfect. Could you comment that again, Timothy?
Present time, dude. You looked at the dictionary.
No, his name is Joseph.
Yeah, present time. So I thought it was fascinating. We always talk about where they're at and where they want to be at. And bridging that gap is a challenge. I don't have one of these things. I think if it's a Grand Canyon, you'll end up at Phantom Ranch. You won't end up at the North Rim. Somewhere in between, and you'll look for the donkeys or the animals. There's another word too, to get you back to the south there, right? But there's a huge gap. Lee Dwyer talks about it. John Maxwell talks about it. A lot of leadership type people talk about it. And so the synonym, this is just really interesting. How do I use another word other than opportunity? Now, I really don't like the way this looks. Well, I gotta do it the way Pam does it. Told you you're gonna be involved. So this is the synonym of, this means away, farthest. I mean, this just blew me away. See, it could be my remotest. I don't know what that actually is. The remotest place you've ever been, and happening. Happening. What's happening? So, if this is where people are at, I would say everybody in the room at some point there. I could say right now, I'm still figuring it out. A lot of things still figuring it out. I am a student of the game. I used to say 90% of the time I was in your seat, and 10% of the time I was up here. And it's about 70% of the time now I'm in your seat. I am. And 30% I'm up here. I'm a student of the game. Always will be. I'm taking my laptop, I'm taking my books and everything with me when I go. There'll just be more ashes. Consider it, right? But I thought that was interesting. Anybody have any thoughts or comments about that? Feelings about it?
So currently.
I think the analogy of the Grand Canyon was important because if you are on the south rim looking at the north rim, it can seem like it's impossible to get over the other.
Yeah, I've been here. I went back. I made both ways without using animal. But I would like to do this. While we were doing this, on the way down, someone ran past me. He was a lot skinnier than me. Shoes. I soccer had lunch. I don't think there was anything other than lunch in the swim in the river. And he ran over. And I never saw him again. I'm about here. He came back. He goes, wow, you did that quick. He goes, yeah, I know. I'm about 10 minutes behind my normal schedule. I've been to the North Rim and back. I thought he went there. He went up there and came back. He has a whole different preparation and passion and plan than me. You know, if I were so scared about falling off a horse or a donkey, I would do it. So anyway, to me, this is, we have to starve this and feed that. How do we do it? That's a John Maxwell. Starve your fears, feed your passions. It happened in here for a reason. Sorry, man. So we'll do this one more time. That was for you. All right, is that fair enough? So
Yes.
we talk about both sides of the coin. Everything's not always rosy. You know, grass isn't always greener on the other side. If it is, it's probably because the dog is over there fertilizing or something amazing for there. I don't know. So we have opportunity, business opportunity, income opportunity, start to get into something. Here's an opportunity. What it looked like when we took it apart. So you're gonna get a testimonial from me and Pam on some of our opportunities at work, and had a little hiccup and had a current reaction, and then we got the opportunity out of it because we missed the mark once in a while too. I'm learning that set us into the game. We'll talk about some of the opportunities from a lifestyle standpoint of where we've gone, what we've done. Make sure you have things, slides that you can put up. You're gonna hear a couple other people talk about it too. So this is a fix and flip we closed on last year. That looked like our truck, our car, and the dumpster. Okay? That's the outside. That was the kitchen. It was in the dumpster. Okay, so that's both before. There's Pam. Right there. There's our friend Daryl. That's after.
Goodness
Wow.
gracious. I mean,
And there's cell phone picture, learning opportunities. When you put your houses on the market, professional photography. And professional photography that's realistic. You don't want this to look like Questfield or what's it called here, the ball park, right? You don't want to just take it, right? Because sometimes you look at these rooms like, wow, that's amazing. You get in there and you can hardly even fit in the room. But professional photography. Notice the colors. We did leave a little bit of brown earth tone, but everything's gone gray, white, darks, right? So I didn't think we needed to do that. So that's, I'll go back. There's the house, tan, and it has really funky colored doors. And I said, well, why paint the whole house? Why don't we just paint the doors? I painted the trim, did a really good job. Morning on this side and the other side, afternoon, so the sun wasn't on me. And it sat there and it sat there and it sat there. Because the pictures on the inside look cool. The current trend, right, is whites, grays, blacks, you know, non-earth tones. That really is what's selling. Anybody else agree? It's hot. Is it changing? A little bit. I can go back to yellows and greens and oranges like in the 60s, I don't think. Thank God, I know. But this house sold for a mega price. This one on this side, and the per square footage number was even crazy. But it sold for a great price on the market at the same time we were. So did the house on this side of the fence. We figured, man, get it on the market, get it on the market. Do our thing. Well, we missed the mark. They both sold people that would have bought a house that looked like that on the outside. So months and months and months went by. And much to my chagrin, even though grass is greener on my side of the fence, in my opinion, see the grass? That sold in a week or two?
Within a week.
Within a week,
Soon as
because we
we painted.
changed the stinking color.
So everything was changed.
wow.
And the grass died, didn't matter. That shows you in Arizona, you have two different tones of grass, right? Winter and summer. You can look at your golf courses, they go back and forth. But it didn't matter. Times, you know. I've listened to my classes with red and yellow flowers, and some of the flowers died. But we've been in the game, but we're in the game and we learn this stuff. Fair enough? Yep. So we missed the opportunity on that one because I didn't listen to some people that said, make the outside look the inside. Yes, you.
She's doing this.
I was excited. I put it on here. Okay.
Women know best. No, I don't.
3 months, yeah. We put 40 grand into that house and made about 30, right? Just right around $30,000. Took more months than it needed to. Average for us is 32 grand. We'll talk about this in a minute because results aren't typical. No one does the same thing over and over. But we average about 32 grand a house. Takes about 107 days. Tracked 208 houses. There was hundreds and hundreds of houses that I never tracked because I never was told to track because I never figured I'd be in front of anybody talking about it or raising money through investors, showing new students that want to take a look at this. This is what you can do. So, some of the fun. Some of the fun. That was probably day 35 of driving around in Europe. We had 21 days in Spain. We rented a car after 10 days on a Caribbean, a Greek island cruise. We had a lot of fun. That's just a picnic in a little tiny village in Spain. And to me, it's just like pull over to the side of the road and I can sit in Spain and have, I don't know, leftovers. Cheese and crackers and make me so healthy. Santorini, I think that's what it's.
Oh man.
But that's up.
That's beautiful.
It's a big volcano. So part of it, and I'm not bragging, I'm just saying, hey, we wanted to take some time off, so we took 42 days of a cruise and did this, and we had 3 phone calls during that time. And helping our team and people, the trip was paid for by the things that were happening back at home from an income standpoint. The trip probably cost 10 or 12 grand, we made over 10 grand that month and a half by doing what we had already done. We could remove ourselves and have somebody else take care of the system as best they could, and we took 3 phone calls. Sicily, I think that's where that is. This is really cool. We're up on the top. It took like 45 minutes to leave up there. The ship's way down somewhere. But that's just us having some fun. Good job. I've never been to Europe. I was in high school in a boys' choir, singing for a few days. This is good. Costa Rica, a couple years ago. The only really bad part about this is that as the monkey came down, ate the bananas in his hand, her hair was the platform where the hand kept going. And so she had kind of funny. So how this all happened for me is that I went to an educational system called Renatus after almost 17 years in this business. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. You're not going to be asked to buy anything. Just asked to listen, notice, and come back. Check us out. If it's something you're seriously thinking about doing, we're looking for you, you're looking for us, we're growing. There is a time, yeah, it's gonna be hot in here. I went into the bathroom, the sun, I'm getting excited, you know. I'm from Seattle, I'm not used to 110, even 80 or whatever it is here. So anyway, thank you, Ray. It's a way to wealth and prosperity. There's a ripple going across the country of what we're doing. I got one here, thank you. Of people creating real estate investors, not just teaching you about real estate investing. That's the key. We're not just teaching you about it, we want to create it. We'll show you how we're doing it. Come back and check out how we're doing it. And we're going to put Tucson on the map because you feel that there's going to be a change in the market coming up. Always has,
Absolutely.
always will. Will it be as bad as the last one? Hope not, right? But who knows? And there are some changes. We just saw some posts here recently where the average home ownership is lasting longer by almost 30% or more.
Was that from
It's
Chris
almost up to
Wilson?
11 years where it used to be 7.
Was that Chris Wilson's that
That
he
was Chris
just said?
Wilson. So a guy that's really statistical. So if home ownership is lasting longer, what does it mean? So I haven't looked back to see what it means, but we're on it. There are some changes. So we'll talk to you about this. This is the power behind the horsepower. We have to have good information, knowledge, right? On the opportunity, plan, schedule it, and do it. Otherwise, status quo, current present time. We want to change present time. Little disclosure. I contract with Renatus, and some of us in the room are, to market their services and to grow these groups. Once you become part of us, you know, it's like the board. Who's watched Star Trek, Star Wars? You will be assimilated. Resistance is futile. Just come and join now, or enjoy the night, and we'll see you, at the courthouse steps in foreclosure. Bidding on foreclosure. But we represent the company from the standpoint of helping them grow this to create millionaires around the country. We are independent here in this office in Phoenix and Seattle. What you see happening here is the Odyssey Group. Up in Phoenix and Seattle, Alliance Group. Up in Utah, it's called Elevate. There's different names that we come up with our teams. And then we grow, and we're multiple people coming together collaboratively to get this thing done, okay? And so that's a couple disclosures we'll go through with you. I'm not licensed currently as anything other than a driver. You talked about that. I have been a real estate broker for 22 years. After 3 years where I quit my job, I thought, you know what, I need my license. Mainly because I wanted the key to houses. And I wanted to see the comps. I didn't want to call my realtor and say, can you come over and let me in this house? No, I wanted it in the house. Back then it was a key. It was just the way it worked, in a box. Nowadays it's on your phone, or it's a clicker, or, it can, who knows how many ways it can be done. But we're not attorneys, we're not giving you legal advice and all this. We're just spelling out what we do. Everybody needs to check this out on your own. And when you get into business, start doing real estate and run a system, that's definitely what you need to do. And we collaboratively will have some connections for attorneys, possibly, different things, but so that's that. And you make your decision on what you want to do. This is intellectual property of Renatus. I think it's okay to take pictures of it. If you want to, rather than take notes, take pictures of something, do it. Just don't want you out there sharing it on social media in different ways, because it's taken out of context. Okay? Now, I currently have Spokane, Seattle, San Diego area, Tucson, and Phoenix, and then Lone Rangers in Colorado, Montana, Florida. You know, out there looking to start a place or just grab the information and are running with it. And in all but one case, they have a small group that started, like in a meetup or some other way, and ideally starting this, what you've done. So, that's kind of an overview. The purpose of the meeting is this. Explain to you that we're not this information. That we are independent marketing affiliates growing this intentionally, make it very clear. You know, we want to grow these groups and we want to take care of a lot of houses. And that time comes when it's a buyer's market. Because are we in a buyer's or seller's market? Still in a seller's market. So most of the things when that happens. We have more competition. But we're still doing, I mean, we did 22 deals in 5.5 months as a group, and most of them were beginners. Who's doing deals in here right now, this year? Let's look around the room a little bit. This year, in a seller's market. Crazy. Working, right? Now you're learning what to do, and what not to do. Learning experiences. I don't call them failures. There's successes, and there's learning experiences. Nothing's ever a failure. You're not going to be asked to buy anything tonight, guys. Why don't you come back? Check us out. Come to the things that we have coming up. Meet with the person and people that are asking to come here and have a serious talk about why you want to take your game where you want to take it. Okay? If you need more information, details, you know, the person that got you here or this group will help you understand that. So, why are you guys here? I know we've got a handful of new folks, so if there's a couple people that are newer on a first or second look, can I ask, I know a couple of you raised your hands, maybe what you're looking for or why you're here? You're one of them, right? I don't know names, but.
Well, no, it's all right. New to the group, but I've been dealing with real estate for 3.5 years.
Okay.
So yeah, freedom.
Freedom?
Sure.
So,
Financial freedom.
take it to another level and work in a different fashion, maybe to have better results. Continue, improve on what you're doing.
I was self-employed for myself until I realized it just wasn't going to work.
It's a higher level of work.
Just one guy doing one thing, and you only got so many hours a day, so it doesn't work. You know?
Yep. Good. What was your name?
Brad.
Brad. Thanks, Brad. Same reason? So ditto that. Anybody else? Want to say why you're here? How about just a couple of people who have joined in the last few months become part of the group that would like to say why you're here?
See a future for myself and my family.
See a better future or for yourself and your family? Cool. Well, I was showing you some of the futures that happened for us, right? Those kind of things. I, years ago, was not going to be able to take 42 days off from anything to go to Europe. That would have 3 phone calls. To me, that's a better future.
Yeah. Yep.
Yours might be, different, but we all have it, right?
I'll take yours too.
Give you some recommendations. On that note, because of the outward opportunity in the current situation, the present time, do you know what the Europeans told us? What do you think they told us when we asked the taxi cab drivers, the restaurant owners, the servers, what do you think of America? What do you think we are? Any idea of what they might have said? Spenders. Nasty. Work too hard, gluttons. Yeah, gluttons. Yeah, they are all trim. The European cut is real. And no, I can't fit in it. Even though they're big and tall. I'm working on it. Anybody else?
5 years.
JC?
I know when I lived in Europe, they considered most of us as loud and obnoxious.
Loud and obnoxious, okay. Linda?
I was gonna say ugly Americans too,
Ugly Americans?
which I didn't mean, I think that's negative, but.
Okay. The thing I came back with was we don't realize what we have.
Yeah,
We have an opportunity that people have risked their life for to come to. And obviously now, you're in the news a lot more and more and more and more, right? We are squandering the greatest opportunity in the world, but being in America. We are in the land of opportunity.
I
That's
agree.
right.
Defend us.
Yeah, we've got military protecting our
Yes.
stuff, and that's
Yes.
awesome.
Beautiful.
But that's what they think of. That's what the common theme was. It's just kind of, I go, wow. But you break that down into 4 categories of why people might be here. And we're just going to train on some things. There's a lot of things that we can take that you're going to hear from me tonight and as you go forward. But tonight I could break what you're seeing in some of these slides into a 1 hour or half-day training on. We're just going to kind of touch the top of it, just so you understand, because a lot of these things, if you feel like taking some pictures, do it. But the currencies of why you might be here is you want more money, you want your time back, you want to learn this either from yourself or the people around you. Why learn it on your own? Why don't you learn from some of the other people that might have had a learning experience, right? I'm not looking at any one person because I don't know what it is. But the relationships, you know, the knowledge. Our good friend Scott Rowe, who's got really an impact on growing the groups and put an impact on us, and say, you know, why don't you guys go out there and grow some groups? And, well, I never really thought about it. But he says that what we're creating is a human ecosystem, an intellectual ecosystem of knowledge, a mastermind in the Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich, is bringing together collective genius, and as a group, they can do more than they can individually. That's my way of saying it. So this book is masterful, how he got some of the big players in business together, and guess whose tires went on whose cars? You know, Ford's Firestone put the tires on Ford's cars, and things like that started happening, right? These kind of things were what happened. So we want one or more of these things to be better than our present time. Okay? And again, we can train on that for hours when it gets down to it, because there's a lot of information about each and every one of those. Which one resonates most with you? Relationships, knowledge, time, or money? Which would be the most, obviously money. Let's just take money out. We know that one, right? That's given.
Time.
Knowledge, relationships.
Time.
Okay. So, I think it is time. My definition of success or financial freedom is to do whatever you want, whenever you want, with whomever you want, regardless of the time or cost involved. Doesn't matter if it's a 3-day weekend to San Diego that costs you $1,000, or a 10-day trip to Alaska or Panama fishing, chasing fish, $1,000 a day. If you don't have the time, who cares if you have the money? Once you start making 10 monthly obligation and you've got some money to put away and to give and tithe, you know, and to charity and give back, you know, you've got freedom. You've broken the chains of the job and the economic situation. So it's just how far you want to take that. Within real estate, when you ask Siri or Lexi, you know, what's the most common denominator about millionaires in the United States? Real estate comes up. Ask your phone, where's that talking voice in there? What is the most common thing that most millionaires have? And it will be real estate. That's why we're here. Fair enough?
Yeah, I know.
If you guys have thoughts, you guys can say something that is good. Woo! Okay? I like this. You do whatever you want, whenever you want, regardless of time or cost, whatever. Financial freedom. It used to be have 10 houses worth $100,000 each, making $1,000 a month. I wanted $10,000 a month. And after 7 or 8 years, I realized, you know what? It's not about 10 houses. I want my freedom. You know, I want to have fun with my family, my friends, my faith, my fitness, and all things that go on with it. So,
It's cheap right here in my mouth.
now it is some of the results and some of the incomes we talk about are typical. You know, we're not out there putting big checks and all this stuff. The gurus sell you, you know, and I don't mean anything bad by saying the guru. I learned originally from a guru. And I'll tell you how far I got with that, and I'll tell you how far I got with this. I give them all the credit for giving me the information. I give them none of the credit for what I did with it, because I did it all. And I didn't realize that the system where you come into a weekend or a week to learn something is really quite broken, because less than, well, a single digit number out of 100, so 9% or less, and I hear it's around 4, 5, or 7, is what I keep hearing, of the people that go to a one-time 3 to 5 day boot camp, if you will, that's what I went to, ever do anything with it and break out. And I'll just tell you that the success rate in this group, we just saw the hands go up, is definitely double digit. I'm not going to give you a number above or below 50%, but it's a heck of a lot more than a single digit number. There's a difference between the old school way, the guru way, the sales way. You're not being sold anything, you're just talking. Why don't you come back? Yes, you have an opportunity to buy some education, learn this at a different level, and do it with your compadres, you know, hang out. So, there's some of the things. Opportunity to plug some holes, and presently we're ship sinking. statistically around the country, 95% of the people, by the time they get to age 65, are dead or dead broke. And they say that the 4 or 5% that died before 65 were the lucky ones. I just think it's funny as can be. But really, they say that 5% of the people in the country are financially secure, financially independent, which means they broke over that number that they can cover the net, whatever it is, the daily or monthly expense. The number ranges between $35,000 to $40,000 per month to get there from the statistics that I read. Okay, different numbers. I think that's an awfully low number. Out of that 100% of people, if 5% of them make it, there's 1% that really are financially there. They've made it, and they've taken it to another level. They've taken their business to a point where they can really not worry about how much money is enough money or not enough money. They can give back, they can do it. And I think that's when Europeans say we don't realize what we have. You know, we give for granted, not seizing the opportunity. What's the Robin Williams term? Carpe diem in the movie. What was the name of the movie?
Dead Poets Society.
Dead Poets Society. Seize the day, carpe diem. You know, we can only answer for ourselves if we're seizing the day. Each and every one of us have that responsibility. I too have days where I don't seize the day. It happens. It's okay. Falling down's fine. Well, they don't break anything. If you do, get up. Keep on trucking. And so there's holes in the bucket. We're going to talk about how some of these holes in the bucket compare to what it would look like if you patched the holes in the bucket. I feel like that's a great analogy. When I saw that, Ray, I went, wow, that was really cool. Some of this I got to do. And some of it, you know, we share around together. So, here's one of the trainings. I'm just going to put it up in one giant slide. And Frank, if I'm in your way, you can go and sit in Joseph's lap.
Frank, you stay over there.
I know, it looks like a lawyer or attorney, doesn't he? Maybe he's the attorney. But you can break what people do in the 95% into what we call low financial efficiency. They're in debt. What's the average credit card debt that most people are carrying statistically around the country?
16,000.
12,000. What's another? Anybody else?
It's 16,000 last
16,000?
time. Yeah, that's from NerdWallet or Walmart.
12 to 16. They're dead. Are those assets going up or going down in value?
Down.
Yeah, they're probably on clothes, food, and different things, and or assets and things that they don't even know what they are anymore. They probably sold them at a garage sale at some point because they had to buy more, and they're paying 2 to 3 to 4 times for it. You know, this is a lot of us paying way too much in taxes. We'll talk about that next. There are very few tax deductions that a single or married couple can get in the United States now. It's like 14 or 15. It's a little bit dozen different ways you can deduct from your income to save taxes. I don't know the exact number. I don't like to be quoted on that kind of stuff because I'm not a super detailed person, not an engineer. If I got the feeling I feel right in, I will jump off the diving board, whether I know how to swim or not. Because if the fall, like what was it, Bush Cassidy, the Sundance Kid, when that happened, said, "Hey John, if a Bush or Sundance fall don't kill you, the fact that you know how to swim will, right?" And so I will learn how to swim. The opportunity to gain some knowledge to swim, I will learn. And so, whatever. But if you're in business, that whole thing changes. We have liabilities. Huge liability. We're paying for things that we think are assets. Our own home, in most people's case, is the biggest asset that they own and have on their balance sheet. There's your income and expenses, you know, your monthly cost, and then there's your balance sheet, your net worth. And most people in the country, I won't give you a number because like we talk around the room, there's different numbers and opinions. But more people than not, that's their biggest asset. Is the house you live in really an asset? Not to the bank.
It is.
Yeah, we'll talk about that one too. I'll still know the line from you on that. But the thing is that it costs us money. I think home ownership is the best thing in the world. That's the reason why I've gotten ahead is the home that one of the reasons why I got ahead is because the home I've lived in has been one of the biggest assets that I've parlayed to the next one, because the tax savings in it is pretty amazing when you sell it. If you're an individual, the first $250,000 of gain over what you're into it for, tax-free. If you're married, $500,000 of gain. You'll see a house that Pam and I are striving to do that on now. I've never done that. Made a little over $325,000 on one house, $175,000 on another. Of course, I fixed them up. I lived in them. And a few years passed. I sold them. This is a delayed fix and flip. This is my own buy and hold, whatever you call it. But you roll out $175,000 out of a house, more than what you're into it for, changes your life. You do that intentionally, changes your life. Okay? So most people take that house and it costs them money. Nowadays you can rent one room or part of your house to the the fractional rental or the nightly rental. It's really popular. Airbnb, VRBO, the acronyms from it. And there's dozens of companies that can put that out to, and it's really quite phenomenal. Well, you're aware of that, right? It's a trend. It's probably one of the assisted type living for our older folks, where they have a nice place to live in a home versus a hospital type setting. Those two types of asset classes right now are very popular for the cash flow model in real estate. Convert a single family home rent for $1,500 over to a nightly rental and make thousands per month just to rent it out by the day or by the weekend. Or take one of your homes and convert it over to an adult family home that's assisted living for disabled people, for dementia people, for people that are just physically on their last leg and don't want to be in a hospital and have a graceful place to stay. You can make $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 gross on a house. You just have to pay for the operator to live it, and operate it, and help them bathe and help them shower, give them medicines and cook for them. And it's a family home. So we can change our houses over, and if you get one of these strategies and rock it, and really rock it, that's all you need to do. Find one thing to get really good at. I'll explain to you later what one thing I got good at. So anyway, at the end of the day, your income is fixed at your job. It's slowly going up. Is it keeping up with inflation? Appreciation? Any of that? I mean, it's tough. People are losing their jobs. And we see some of the people working at McDonald's. Most of them are young, and some of them are parents' age, or your parents' age. I'm a parent age, so it would be my parents if that was the case. But in this case, some of them are working at Walmart. And that's because they have to. Shouldn't have to. So their income is fixed. But that's low efficiency. That's America. That's what Europe sees us doing when I hear that. Higher efficiency. A business owner, someone that's taken this opportunity and got the knowledge, become self-educated. The term I'm hearing nowadays about being an entrepreneur is that you're self-educated. You've learned how to do something, you follow someone that's done it. Think and Grow Rich talks about it. Model somebody that's doing something, copy what they've done, ask for permission if you need to. If not, come run alongside them and just let someone else teach you the way. And that's what we're doing. You're going to see that's what we do. They take their debt and they get out of debt real quickly. We're going to talk about that. One of the things you'll be invited back here is come listen to us train you on how to get out of debt on a typical mortgage in approximately a third of the time, or less, by not adding any more to the equation, just by how you manage the money flow and setting up a little system so that you can do it. Not everybody does it. We would call it using the bank's products against them rather than letting the bank use their products against us. At least that's what I would call it. So if you're going to get into debt, get out of debt. What if you can learn how to pay your own home off in 7 to 10 years and start paying rental properties off that fast? Don't you think that the rental properties could create more rental properties and more rental properties? We can continue. Some people will pay that mortgage for 30 years. Do people keep houses for 30 years? No, they probably refinance and start all over again, and we'll talk about that. The taxes, if we're individuals, we have 12, 15, 14, whatever it happens to be, hundreds of, over 400 write-offs, from what I understand, as a business owner, a self-educated entrepreneur. Many ways to live your life. That'll be the next training we talked about. We buy assets, not liabilities. We don't need to go down that road any further. Figure out a way to turn a house into an asset, a business into an asset. Many people, or some people in this room, own several businesses to do what they do. Pam and I are in 2 businesses, not actually 3, hopefully we added up. You guys are in a half a dozen, whatever you've got. Different things happen, right? And so we have assets and we work on it. We are looking at, in this case, some new and controlled income, and we'll explain what that means in the next slide. So where do you feel when there's a break in the road? Do you go left or do you go right? I think, going left. And that's why we're here in this room together. Just take our level of life and get us to a point where we have a higher level, like you said, of where we want to go and be. So there that is, broken down. Low efficiency and high efficiency. Okay? Here what we're doing is we're taking our cash flow and our money and we're running it through our business. Employee identification number. Call the state, get an LLC, an entity, call the IRS, get your number, you're in business, go to a bank, start up a business, run a business credit, not just personal credit, different things that happen here. Or go get your social security number like the 95%, 90% of America is doing right now. And so when you break it down, let's see if we can work the clicker. With the clicker. 100% of your income comes in. In this case, what happens in a business is we are not taxed on the money as it comes in. We're taxed towards the end of the equation. A Social Security person is taxed, you know, they take your money out every week, right? Every 2 weeks. Up front. You don't know what your tax write-offs will be. You don't know what your scenario will be, but it's taken out as you go along. We tend to spend about 50% of what we have here. We use the money here. We talked about tax write-offs back here, write-offs. Right? That's what I'm talking about. So right here, a lot of the things that we currently spend money on, phones, cars, trips, business, I mean, this is a business expense for Pam and I. The dinner, you know, the gas, road miles down here. It's probably going to be a huge deduction for me, all the miles. I'm 214 miles. We come from Phoenix down here once a week with you guys for the next few months. Okay? And so we get to deduct up here a lot of things that the average person would have to spend money on. And as we teach, it's above the line because you have your adjusted gross income, AGI. Does everybody know what AGI is? We really teach hard on that. You don't want to have to pay taxes on things and have that AGI be high. You want to get it down as low as you possibly can. And the way you do that is by the things that you use, make them tax deductions. Legitimately, legally, morally, ethically. You don't want to go and get audited by the IRS and not be able to withstand the test. Do it right. All right? Yeah. And so what's happening here is a third of your money is going out. Now we're up to 83% of your money is going out. We all pay this life tax, sales tax, right? Everything pretty much you buy, different parts of the country have income tax, sales tax per state, but that's what happens. The net here for the 95% of the 90% is they have 7% left over after the end of the day. Using the same or similar numbers, the business owner has 40% over here, left over, and they're taxed on that. And on average, we pay about 10% or less. That's a very average. Remember, the results aren't typical. No one gets the same thing. We're all striving to pay a single digit, if possible, amount. I mean, when I hear someone makes hundreds of thousands of dollars and they pay $8,000 or $9,000 in taxes. What was the Amazon thing? Did you talk to the Amazon how much money they made? Was it you?
It
Okay,
was
so
trillion.
Amazon made
Trillion.
No.
They made a
Billions.
Billion.
Billions. They paid over $1
Trillion.
billion and they paid zero in taxes.
That almost doesn't seem right. So they didn't, but you know, it must be somehow they did it. That's what Europe sees that not enough of us taking an opportunity and taking it for granted. So Amazon made mega dollars, made the news, and they paid nothing on it. Obviously, you know, they gave back. They paid a lot. They benefited by paying real estate taxes, the life tax, all their plans. I mean, I'm sure they gave back in another way. They just didn't pay our Uncle Sam, or whoever it is, or Samantha. I don't know who it is these days. It's both, right?
Thanks, Dwayne.
There will be. I won't get too political on you or religious.
Hey, did you go to that meeting,
But
Dwayne?
there will be someday a woman president, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's my personal opinion. You know, Obama broke one barrier. I'm going to pick another. It's going to happen, you know. And I think Trump at some level broke a barrier too. He wasn't a politician. He wanted something different. I don't know how it happened, why it happened. But they formed against him, but it was very amusing. But I'll sign the book if you write it. So what happens here is that on average, the people that control assets, control their income, deduct as much as it can and save on taxes, will pay less than 10%. The statistic we're throwing out to you is about 8%, okay? And they have 32% to live on, to give back on, to go and take that life where we really want it to be. Our current situation, 7%. Opportunity to double, triple, or quadruple that. Who's for that?
Yeah, baby.
You guys can make any comments you want, and I'll help you. I'll even say yes. Say no. We'll go forward.
Yes, please, may I have another?
Yes, please. All right. All right. So this is another way of looking at an employee situation, our current situation. That word, I did not add that word. It was just there, and I used it for opportunity. But here it is again, and the word plan will come up. What's our current situation? What opportunities out there? And what's our plan? For most of us, and the devil book.
Outwitting the devil.
Outwitting the devil.
Yes.
Most people are drifting. We don't have a specific
Slackers.
plan. We don't have a schedule and a time frame what to get it done. We're just winging it. You know, been there, done that. Do that once in a while, but not very often anymore. Got a plan, going somewhere, right? So what happens is a third. We're paying a lot of money out in interest. We're not learning how to pay off our assets, our houses. Not learning how to deduct our expenses and not have to pay for it all prior to taxation. I'm not going to hit you hard. Like I said, a lot of these slides we can talk about and take very deep. Mr. JC.
And just something to think about, you're talking about assets, you're talking about like your house, like what
Thanks
you
a
and
lot.
Pam are doing.
Doing.
I was just talking to some guys, like, there are guys who are buying cars and they're fixing them up and then they're renting them out through Turo and that they can write off, and they also use them themselves. So you can drive yourself like Nate, he drives a brand new Tesla and he writes it all off. So how'd you like to buy a $160,000 car and write it off?
Yeah, you have a financial problem when you make too much money. You got to find a way to consume it differently. And yeah,
That's
who would
perfect.
want a nicer car?
That's perfect.
Who would want to buy their parent or their kid a nice car? They have to earn the right, especially the younger ones. I think the older ones, they've already earned the right. They took care of us when we were young. We'll take care of them when they're older. So it'd be nice to have mom, dad, or grandma, and grandpa have a nice car. You know, listen to Dean Graziani. You guys know who Dean is? Tony Robbins. You know, he followed Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins followed. Who's Tony Robbins? Jim Rohn. But Dean Graziani is taken up to a level that he can buy his family a car, his parents a car. He can pay for a house. He can do. How cool would that be? Right? And find a way to make it, of course, a business expense and a write-off, of course. But the current situation. Fair enough? On average. So some might be different.
2/3 of our money go towards taxes and interest.
Sure. Our life is here, and 2/3 of our money, as Joseph says, is spent. Our life.
We don't even see it.
That's getting stuck at the bottom of the level. That's the possible change. Probably should change the word from possible to opportunity for change. So we want to get this to 10% or less. We used 8% on the high efficiency. Right? It's possible to get it down to single digit. We've done it. And pay 10% interest, not 33% interest. By learning, there's ways to do it without adding more money and getting tricky. It's really a calculation, if done right. We'll talk about it further. I like this, living your lifestyle. I didn't put a percentage there, but I think you can deduct that and that from the rest of it and come up with a pretty big number, right? That's where we want to go. We want to have that decision to be able to do whatever we want, whatever we want, regardless of the time or cost involved. That's how I look at it. This makes my hair on my arm. 28 years later, I'm still feeling the same way. It's a good thing. But I quit my job. All right. This is an amortization type schedule. Boo. So who's bought a house and looked at that sign for it and said that the numbers that I'm borrowing on are 2 to 3 times what I'm paying for the house if I paid all the payments. I saw it, it's like, you know what? I know I'll get out of it, I'll sell it, I'll refi. I justified it. But the interest rate was only 3 or 4%, 5 or 6, 8. My first house, 12 and 3/8 was my 3/8. Is that a percentage? No, that's not. It's not 12 and a quarter, so 12 and something. But anyway, it was crazy. So this way it goes. So you have a payment of which $900 is where you start at per month. Actually, $1,200. $900 of it is, as I think you said a couple of weeks ago, it's like the devil. I think you did. Keep going. And the bank amortization. I think the word more that we all probably have. So at the beginning of the month, 900 goes away, and 300 starts going towards you buying the house and getting out of it, and it slowly appreciates. On average, 16, 17 years into a house, where you're 50-50, right? 600 and 600, if you will. At what point do most people refinance along here? 5 different numbers. So possibly 2 or 3 times. Aren't they just restarting this cycle all over again? We justify it because it's a lower interest rate. We justify it for the fact that we want to maybe take some money out and buy a appreciating asset, a toy, a liability. You know, silly things that we might do. It's what happens. Okay? And so one of the things that we will teach you when you come back to us and we'll offer is one of our classes just to show you what we're doing and how we're doing it on how what we call velocity banking works. We give you an app you can put on your phone and you can run your own scenario and figure out what it would take using a system of the bank's products that I think Angels got together with us, versus the devil and the bank, and the angel said, you know what? We got one too, you know. We know how to do this. We've been going to this church, we've been over here in this church, you come over to our church, and the angels and us, we got away using their own products to favor religion and politics is out of the way. We have a religious female president. That's what's Don't
Yes.
quote me on that. But I will sign the book when it happens. All right, so kind of a sick plan, but we all do it. And so the reason we're here is to take and get different knowledge so we can do different things. This is something I never even thought about coming out in the educational services when I signed for it, and I had no clue that this was going on. I actually had done it with 8 houses on my own, home equity line of credit, and buying another house or 2 with that other house, and then paying that down, paying it up. All the cash flow kept going to one house. I didn't know what I was doing. It made sense. I can get a mortgage on a house and just pay interest only, do this mechanism, or I can do that amortization thing, and I got up to 8 HELOCs on rental properties at one time. I wished I would have wrote a book called Velocity Banking or taught a class on it because it's become kind of a trend around the country, but I didn't know. I just made sense to me. And someone said, John, you got equity in that house. Why don't you just add a home equity line of credit? And I went, well, I got a $50,000 mortgage and a $150,000 house. Why don't I take an $80,000 mortgage out on it, pay off the $50,000, and have $30,000 left over and not have to make that payment? And the banker goes, well, I don't know if that's the smartest thing because interest rates go up and down, it's variable, and things might happen when they'll seize your line of credit. Because it did happen during the crash. Bank of America shut lines of credits down, blah, 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 blah. So it did happen. A lot of us were running our businesses on these lines of credits. Not only doing real estate, but running our construction company, our stores on HELOCs off of our properties. I got there, and it was crazy. And when Bank of America shut it down, I had $1.1 million. This is back in whatever that was, early to 2000s, and of equity that I could go to the bank with and get cashier's checks and go to the courthouse step and buy foreclosures at auctions. That's what I was good at. I was really good at foreclosures until this group came along and taught me at the end of the game, buying it at the auction was the way, a place where I could get the steepest discount. There's a couple boys in the room. Anybody else that are doing that? Anybody else buying at auction?
We're wanting
Wanting to. When I found that out, I couldn't believe it. What happened when that happened is all of a sudden I saw one of my line of credits froze, and another one. Oh my gosh! And it was in what a bank called Washington Mutual.
Oh, yeah.
They call it WAPOOF. because it
Yeah.
went away, like an Enron or something. It went away. So before it moved, because I had like 1.3 or so, the 1.15 was the number I kept taking out. I went and grabbed all the money from Washington Mutual at about 3.5%, because they 4%. And one of the homes I lived in, lower rate. A couple of the first rentals, lower rate than the next ones. They were a little bit higher. There's about a point difference between all of them. Took $1.15 million and put it in Bank of America. And I got a 1% bonus and a 1.5% interest. Hedged the bet on the 3.5 to 4.5%. So it's costing me 2.5 to 3%. All that money, and I took all that money and bought houses and made $32,000 a pop on them. That's a huge trading. So let's, Joseph. Uh-oh, I heard this stuff right. That's a tax write-off when the bank comes in and fixes it. So I want to just, oh my gosh. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Okay. I'm having fun.
Oh, yeah.
It's a workout for me. So I got another, I saw this. Oh, forget the tax write-off.
Well, I'll fix it in a second.
Okay. Get this one. Did I tell you guys I'm not a public speaker or presenter? I'm just up here having fun talking with my kids. That's all it is.
You're
So,
doing great.
hey, so
Awesome.
if I put a box around it, like the other one we had that, right? We're paying the mortgage, right? Interest, principal. Let's look at this as a rental house. This is where it excites me. There's like 4 benefits or more, but 4 main ones in owning a piece of real estate. Appreciation, right? Depreciation, or paying off. Tax benefits, and something else. I forget what it is, but it's good. It's home ownership. I know so much about real estate, I forget some of it, right? Tax benefits, you get someone else paying your mortgage, and taking care of it for you, you get income, and you get equity. Yeah, the cash flow is the difference between, yeah.
Depreciation.
So, equity.
Appreciation.
We'll talk about that in a minute. If there is an 8th or 9th or 10th wonder of the world, it's called leverage and equity. Those two things together. Some people don't know what equity actually really is. So you have, because we don't have much.
Nice.
So cute.
But that's all of you take the money out of your wallet or purse right now and lay it on the table in front of me. You'd be surprised at how unorganized some of us are and how organized some other engineers and people in the room are. All their money will be faced upright, in order. You know, the 1s, the 5s, the 10s, the 20s. Don't you hate it when the store or the bank, I don't think the bank just give you your money.
It's right, you guys.
Huh?
You ironed it too.
There's our engineers all. Someone else wants to take the wad of money out and show me the pile. That's possible. But we're not organized, and I don't know where the heck they came from. Oh, Emily. Nice. So anyway, well, that's right, because that won't come back down. We're not organized in our way of thinking on the big things. So the little things, like how we organize the money when we put it back in our purse or our wallet or our pocket, I value it. Big bills on the back, facing towards me with small bills on the front. Sometimes I fold it this way, it looks like I got a lot of money. Sometimes I fold it the other way and I just got 1s. Depends if I'm at the golf course, but I don't want you guys to see the 20s. I don't want them to see the 1s. When I give it to you, or we're going to shoot it. I told you to be honest and real with you guys. What are we doing here? Oh. So somebody is in your house, and they're paying your mortgage for you, and it's going down. What's happening with the equity or the appreciation in your house? It's going up.
Wow.
Right? There's tax benefits. There's appreciation. Let me ask you a question. 2 people in the room. When you grew up, let's say you're in your 10 or 15, you're age 10, a teenager. What was the value of your house as a teenager? You remember, Tom? If you had to say pick a house between that time as a teenager, what was the value of it?
Probably around 60, 70.
What city was that in?
Roseville, Portland area.
Okay. And today, that $60,000 or $70,000 house will be what? $400,000.
Awesome.
I'd say home ownership would pay,
Yeah.
especially if it's a rental house. That's what I'm talking about. Somebody else that would, it's, you know, a house you grew up in, huh? Or Brian,
Lakefront House,
lakefront house,
3 acres, in 1968, bought for 42,000.
$42,000 in 1968. Man, you are almost as old as me. You're welcome, sir. And but you look so
Sold,
young.
I even know what it sold. It sold for $520,000.
$520,000. And that cost $50,000 to build and $50,000 for the lot. Sold a few years ago for $935,000. It's a nice 3,000 square foot house, a little bit of a view if you decide to Seattle. Great little neighborhood. It wasn't high end, it was on the middle end, but 9 times in like 50 years. Does it make sense to hold and own real estate?
Oh, definitely.
It's great to flip homes. It's great to flip homes, big checks, quick cash. It's better to have buy and holds for the reasons why we're looking here, okay? So what I'm trying to show you is, this is equity, the difference between what you owe and what it's worth, and why not let somebody else pay off your home, take care of your home. So when I see those pie charts and the amortization schedules now, I see this. I see my home going up in value, the mortgage coming down, me getting benefits, primarily through taxation, and the guy that taught this to me, I swear his name was Ben Echeverria up in Utah, or Idaho now, and he called it the Horn of Plenty. And I go, what the heck is the Horn of Plenty? And he goes, John, wouldn't you just love to be spitting out checks? Like this. I want 10 free and clear homes for the $100,000 each, spitting off $1,000 a month. And that's exactly what I want. How do I do it? Well, how many homes have you been doing so far, dude? I go, well, I've been able to get up to 8 homes a year flipping. And a few rental properties. Just keep going. He goes, wow, you've been at this 17 years? Yeah, well, yeah. Less than 10% of the people even do anything with it, and that's what I did with it. Because I went to a seminar, and 90+% of the people did nothing. I did something. I took the opportunity and did those things we talked about, scheduled my time, set some benchmarks, and had a plan, and kept working it. Now, I'll have to admit I goofed off along the way about as much as anybody did. Played, hike, go on boats, helped my dad gracefully pass away from cancer. Took a 1.5 years off. Went to his favorite restaurant at lunch. He was asleep half the time. You know, Burger King fries are the best fries out there, right?
Ooh,
My dad
yummy.
says they are. It gets silly at the end because they give you this little king hat, sitting there in a restaurant with your dad in your 40s, wearing a paper hat, eating the best French fries in the world. Dad wanted them. If they weren't piping hot, he wanted new ones. I don't want, and Tammy's the same way. She wants this stuff hot. It's got to be fresh, girl. I don't want this. You know, we can be a wine snob, a water snob, a fry snob. You know, I want what I want. I want it for a reason. My dad did too. I had the time, guys, to take Dad gracefully to a point where on his last couple of days, he couldn't talk to me and I could talk to him. And the last thing he said is just take care of Mom. And I got squeezed out of his hand and said, Dad, you know, I gotta go because I wasn't able to stay there for the last day or so. It was just too much for me. And I went golfing, and the day my dad passed, I was golfing. And squeezed his hand, and I'll take care of Mom, Dad, don't worry. She'll be taken care of. And she was too, because 2 years ago, Mom passed away. And we went out there every 2 to 3 months and spent days and a week and saw Mom for a couple years because we could see that she was slipping away too. If I hadn't done this, wouldn't have had that to happen. So that's the Horn of Plenty. Reversing the bank, get the angels to teach us how to create assets and keep costing more assets. I don't care about having the chicken and the egg. I want a lot of eggs. Just find a chicken that lays lots of eggs. Because some people go out and just try to buy the egg, and it ends up being the low efficiency way to do it. Have a chicken farm that keeps kicking out more houses, more eggs, and that's what we're going to go with it. Okay, so that's John's just a crazy analogy. Amortization schedule. Look, everybody looks like you fixed it. Alright, so here we go again. Gonna flip it. High efficiency, low efficiency. We'll just talk for some fun, but in investing, we want to control stuff. That's how we get there. I controlled a bunch of houses. Ab and I controlled a $1 million home up in the Belmore area. There's a picture or two of it. That's just what we moved there for lifestyle and for trying to make $500,000. I know I can crack that number. It's a huge number. I know we can crack that number on this house. That's the goal. And if we don't, we only make $300,000 or $400,000. That shouldn't talk like that. Or $200,000, whatever it is. That's a win.
Or
I got to live
600,
on-
John,
You'll
or
get to see it.
600.
Crazy.
600, John.
Yep. All right. So, but anyway, that's the amount of money we get to play with afterwards. That's the money they get to play with afterwards. Low efficiency. They save stuff. Here we control stuff. That's what the bank's going to give you.
That sucks.
I'm just going to throw this up to show you. This is a really great training. Components to a deal. What I'm looking for when I put a roadside sign or an ad out, I'm looking for someone who wants to sell a home. They're usually in distress. Someone that wants to buy a home, lease option a home, now vacation rental a home, and someone that wants to lend money. They want to get out of that low efficiency into a high efficiency. To do that, we have to take the opportunity of some of the things that we've already talked about. It takes time, work at it. You're going to get paid a lot more doing this than your day job. Get that specialized knowledge and hang around people that are doing it. These are the risks and rewards. Okay, we're going to talk about this next. There's 4 levels really that we find that you can play ball in. There's more, but these are the 4 main categories, and then there's hybrids. Just like going to college, you've got your majors, but you know, if you're a zoologist, like Kendall Stock is, you know, he's a real estate investor now. How many people go to college to learn to be a zoologist to make money? You got a little animals, right? Anyway, a zoologist, if they go to that degree, they have multiple things that they can probably do in their fields. These are 4 categories that we can look at. We'll go into that next, okay? But then on the acquisition side, those are some of the main ways that we acquire our houses. Just big picture stuff, right? And so you add these 2 together, get in one of these groups, match that with this, and you'll go to the high efficiency side of the investing world. Components of the deal. We can spend a lot of time on each one of those charts, but let's just do it this way. There's a risk and reward for each one of those things that are on the lower right. You can wholesale. When you wholesale, you don't have much risk money-wise. You're going to spend a lot of time. Right? You're going to go out, find people, tie up their homes, and then find someone that wants to buy it from you. The best way is to get a list of people that want to buy homes first before you find the home. And that's just a way to do it. Build a list of buyers. Remember back, there's a person there with money. Okay? That could be the businessman. Hello. So wholesaling. Lots of effort, very little risk, just your time. The next one is fix and flip. Now you're getting there, we get a little more risk because you're going to buy a home, like the one we had. We had some opportunity in there. We just wanted it because John didn't realize he was colorblind. Didn't like all that gray and white. It's just boring with no emotion to it. Earth tones. Earth tones. But no, it didn't work. And one, and which would have listened months before. But there's not quite as much effort.
It's usually how it goes.
Okay, but there's effort. And so we're gonna have a couple people come up, and right now I'm gonna have one of our guys come up. Hey, Stephen Quinn, that would be you, sir.
Ooh,
You're
listen
one
to
of
this
our
guy's story.
investors. It's
This is
taken us
awesome.
to a higher level. And I want you to just get up on this slide and the next and talk about a little bit of his fix and flip action. A couple minutes. Stephen Quinn from Sierra Vista.
The special when I get the clicker. This is my family up here, and the main reason that everybody else understands why I do what I do, and why I needed to make something change. Because before all this stuff with real estate, with Renatus, with this community, I was working a job as a heating and air conditioning repairman, and doing well with it as far as the job goes. But if you guys can imagine this time of year around here, I didn't see my family very much. And so it was very, very common to work 12-hour shifts, if not more, especially when I was on call. And one of the things that drove me crazy was to leave my house in the morning with my children still in bed, and come home at night and my children are back in bed. And There's several people in the room that have heard the story, but one of the things that killed me was that when I finally saw my children awake after all that mess was over with and things started to calm down, they were bigger than the last time I had seen them. And as a father, that hurt a lot. And so I decided with my wife, I don't want to be my kids' bank. I want to be their dad, and I want to be there for my wife. And so Renatus gave us an opportunity to do something different and take on that opportunity. So I took the education that they're discussing and started putting to work in fixing and flipping, because I already worked as a contractor. And I knew that when I was going to people's homes, there was a time when I would start to see the same buyer. Like I would go put an air conditioner in a house, right? And then I would go to another house and it was the same guy, and I put in an air conditioner in that house. And I started to notice that these people were paying me hundreds of dollars to go in and do the work for them, that they would turn around, sell the house, and make thousands of dollars and never lift a finger. And I was like, I need to figure out how to get on the opposite side of that kitchen table and do this. So that was really what was pushing me to be something different. So this is just one of the houses that we've done. My wife and I have done quite a number of them at this time. We're actually negotiating about 5 right now. So this community's really been amazing on how we've been able to do that. But this house here was actually a rental property, and a wholesaler brought it to my attention. And so I purchased it from that wholesaler, went in, we fixed money for this deal. So when it came along, I said, the deal's right, the numbers look good, there's a profit in this, but I don't have any cash. So I partnered with somebody else in the community who did, and we used their retirement account actually to invest in this project. So their retirement account went to work, we flipped the house, we turned the profit, their retirement account grew tax-free, which was wonderful for them, and my wife and I walked away with the additional profits. And so we got to split a $30,000 profit on that particular home. So I don't, you know.
I just want to let you know, little story behind the fix and flip, right? There's a story. And we've got all kinds of stories in the room. Steven's one of the ones that's taking this thing to the level deals. So after fix and flip, from the risk standpoint, buy and hold. There's a little more risk owning a bunch of houses. You got to manage them. You got to pay them off. You got to tenant them and meet the tenants. You have to meet them. It's nice to do a long distance and not meet them, but usually you have to meet them. I usually don't like tenants to know who I am, but it's kind of hard to avoid. You know, if I'm knocking on a door and buying a house in foreclosure, you know, and then I meet the owner or tenant, and then I come back a couple days later or the next day, and I'm the new owner, and they know who's there. I'm now the owner. I bought it at auction. It's always kind of interesting. And I was at auction one time, and the guy was watching me. I didn't know it. I came to knock on the door later, and the door opened before I got there. And you know, I reached for it open, and I go, "Oh." He goes, "I knew you were going to come. I just knew you right away." I go, "How'd you know?" I had no clue. He goes, "I was at the auction. I was watching. I just wanted to know who the owner was." And he was nice enough to realize it. He had already given up, and I was friendly to him. He was friendly to me. But from a tenant standpoint, buying and holding houses and maintaining it, there is a little less effort. You're not going to fix them up and spend as much time on them. You were smart, even buying from a wholesaler, who took a lot of time. Less of your time, more of your risk. Buy and hold, okay? The least amount of effort and the most amount of risk in the big world is being the bank. Now, we've talked about the banks. They're kicking it on us, right? They're winning. If you do this right and you carry financing and your retirement accounts will work like that guy did with you, there is mitigated risk. You're in a very insured, secured situation with equity above your loan, and you own houses right and put the paperwork together, there is very, very little risk, because you're going to have insurance, you're going to have equity, you're going to have security, and you'll be able to get out of the property. If the market turns and you end up getting stuck owning a house, the worst possible thing happens is you foreclose on the people and you take it back. As long as you put your loan on the property with enough equity or cash flow to pay for it until the market comes back again, you're fine. There's very little risk. You can literally do it from home and not have to leave your house. Right? Just gonna go here one more. Talk about the eighth wonder of the world. Equity or leverage. I think it's at leverage. The reason why we have these signs up here talking about real estate is that real estate is an ideal investment because we've talked about it. We're not going to beat it up. This is the training that can go on forever. Different types of fixing and flipping. cash flow, monthly, weekly, nightly rentals nowadays, crazy. We get tax deductions. That's an obvious, right? We don't need to go down that road. We can train on it. Equity is the difference between what you owe and what it's worth, net, after sales cost, after taxation, real equity, not the equity that might show on your balance sheet, because on your balance sheet, you're not going to show your sales cost, you're not going to show your taxation, you're going to show it is as it is, a standing asset. But the equity is great. Appreciation, God, we just beat that one up with the homes that we all owned 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, our parents did, and what they're worth today. It's going to go up. There's an average, it just keeps going up and up. And when it drops, the next high is above the last high. And I don't know, statistically going back over time, I just think we proved it in the room by asking 3 people what the home was that they grew up in 30 or 40 years ago. But leverage, I think that's the 8th wonder of the world. You buy a $100,000 house for $100,000, you put $10,000 in. That's 10%, right? This year it goes up 25%. Now in Phoenix, real estate gone up. In some zip codes in any given year, by that much, not very often. West Coast, it's happened year after year after year. So if you went ahead and put 10% down, $10,000, and the house went up 25%, that's a huge number, but what if it did? It has for me 1 year, I made $500,000 on a balance sheet because of 27% appreciation on those 8 houses. On paper, it's like, wow, I made more money on paper than I did in my bank account. My net worth went up. But I put 10% down and I made 25%. What was my rate of return on my $10,000?
250%.
Well, I made 2.5 times. 250% return. Let's just say it was a 10% appreciation and my house went from 100 to 110 and I put down 10,000 and it went up by 10%. What's my rate of return?
100%.
100%. I think that should be the 8th wonder of the world. What is it? I don't know. A couple more disclaimers, guys. A couple more examples. Gonna have Doug and Deborah get up, or Debbie get up, and talk to us about one of their deals, and then we're gonna have Joseph and Rick, Joseph and Emily, or Joseph and get up and talk about one of their deals, and then we'll explain to you the system and a little bit more fun. And so these disclaimers are just explaining to you guys. They're gonna explain their example. It does not necessarily mean everybody's gonna do exactly what they've done. You might have different learning experiences. You might have different wins. They're just going to explain yours. We're real people doing real things. And so, Doug and Debbie, or Doug, whoever wants to get up, husband and wife teams in here. Debbie's pointing to you guys.
Oh, hello. I'm
Hi, Doug.
Hello, Doug.
My wife Debbie is back there. So what we've been able to do, actually, before we came to this group, actually, we weren't doing any real estate. We really didn't understand anything about this. But what brought me here was basically retirement. You know, not having anything in the bank and going, oh crap, what are we gonna do? So, you know, you hear those ads, the gurus and everything. And so I went to the guru situation and I met somebody that was part of this group, Casey Williams, asking very intelligent questions. So I talked with him, and then offsite we talked. And 3 years later, just by getting the education, hanging out with the right people, building relationships, we were able to purchase this year from another community member with another community member's retirement account and seller financing. And so there's 6 little houses right here that throw off about $830 a month cash flow. So
Nice. I can see that. That's good.
that's pretty exciting for us. It's not far from us. We're almost the perfect people for this, for them too. They do know us, unfortunately. But fortunately for them too, they know us.
Yeah.
Does that make
Yes,
sense?
yes, that does make
Okay.
sense.
So fortunately, they know us. So it's good. That's been good. I don't know if there's another trend.
Yep.
So this one, another thing that we've been able to do is we started our business, okay? And with that, we partnered with some other business owners in this room, and we were able to, as a group, other business with our 3 businesses. So now we actually have a business venture with partners. And this is a Green Valley property that we purchased November last year, and it was one of those learning experiences. Okay, it's still on the market. However, we're very confident we're doing very well with the numbers on it right now, and we're excited that it's going to sell soon. Okay, let's see. We fixed it up all inside. It was supposed to be a simple fix and flip, but it turned out to be a little rehab project because we had to do all the bathrooms. So, but it's beautiful. Turned out beautiful. So that was great. And that's part of the afters. So yeah, so it's really turned out really nice.
Are those professional pictures or are those?
Actually, we
They're
did
very
have,
professional
Yes.
pictures, John.
we did
Oh,
have
yeah.
professional pictures.
Brian does
We
it.
have
Yes.
another gentleman in the
Brian.
room who takes professional pictures, and he actually shot our
Very
our
professional.
property, and they're up there below, and you guys can look at all
He
of it.
shoots
So
most of the
please do
properties.
check it out. And if you know anybody on the East Coast who's looking for a property and, 55 for owner, that was for sale. Beautiful house.
Just so happens.
Turnkey, who's this gentleman who is really a pillar of this community, actually is, and has had a lot of success in this community, in Tucson, Sierra Vista, and really thrilled, and it's really cool to have met him and how he's really helped everyone, a lot of people in this room. So I'm looking forward to hearing what he's got to say. Joseph Smith.
I tell you, Doug and Debbie are fabulous people. You really, if you haven't met them, you need to get to know them because they are full of integrity, and that's what's important about having people who do what they say they're going to do, right? Being able to count on somebody like that. That's what Doug and Debbie are, and that's why they're rock solid pillars in this community as well. So this is me and my beautiful family. Emily, would you stand up just for a moment? This is my beautiful blonde bone
What's going on, CB?
I guess I just gotta let you know here because I know I don't got a lot of time here. But listen, where was I at? I was working for CPS 6 years ago, and Child Protective Services. My job was to come to your door, and if something something was up, there was a report, something bad happened with your kid, I had to remove the child from the house. It was not a very popular person when I showed up. Nobody was looking forward to seeing me. Let me tell you something though. I was working easily 60 to 70 hours a week because my office was the state of Arizona. I literally had kids all over the whole state. And I was working as hard as I can, right? I was living the dream. I went to high school, get good grades, to go to college, right? To get a job, got my degree, and all I had was a whole bunch of debt. Finances were horrible. But here's what happened. Here's the day that changed it for me. Is my wife, she chose to be a stay-at-home mom, awesome choice, and I was going to be the breadwinner. But I have to take care of all of those folks, all right? And I'm out there trying to do it, kind of similar to what Stephen was sharing. But my wife came to me one day and said, you know what? Because she's stressed out, because she's a taxi cab, she's a short order, chef, she's a tailor, she's a doctor, she's doing all this stuff. She's like, you know what? I'm doing this whole thing by myself. You spend more time with other people's kids than you do your own. Right?
Oh.
I mean, I was just like, oh, she's so right. And so that's what I needed to find something. And going to college to learn how to be a social worker didn't really prepare me for real estate. When I came to this room where you guys sit, I was just like, somebody said there was an opportunity for me to change my financial life because, full disclosure, I went through 2 foreclosures which led to bankruptcy. So, dealing with all of that, And my wife,
That's
being
right.
very patient with me, was like, okay, we're facing foreclosure and bankruptcy. I don't know, what do you got to lose? Go check them out. So we're checking it out. Listen, this was something that I grabbed a hold of. And I met people like John, who's become a mentor to me. I met people like Ray, excellent. I've been able to partner with him. But I got into the education, folks. I took it, and I was able to do some pretty amazing stuff. Now, I have to tell you, it wasn't always easy, right? Honey, did you believe in this every step of the way? No, we went on the entrepreneur roller coaster, right? Where we made $24,000 in a month, and the next month we made zero, and another month zero, and another zero, right? And then a $10,000 month, 11,000, and zero. So it's been a journey, but fast forward to today. These are coming across the screen the deals that I've been a part of in the last 2 years, right? We've done a total of 16 deals, right? John was showing his little matrix there. A lot of these were wholesales. Hey, some of my first deals, I just made $2,000. But I learned something in Renatus. No one ever went broke making a profit. Okay, so $2,000, that was fine, right? And then I would make a $5,000 payday. And then, we had some big paydays. This one of the last ones we did, we had a $20,000, payday on that. That was pretty awesome. But it's because I got educated. It's because I plugged into this community. And in the last, when I was working for CPS, they were paying me $31,000 a year. All right. I've been with Renatus for 6 years. I didn't get involved in real estate right away because I had a lot to learn. A lot of you people were contractors before you. You knew you knew your way around it. I didn't know anything. So I had to get educated. But during the time I got an opportunity to work with Renatus in marketing, I made $160,000, and I was very grateful to make that over the last 4 years. In the last 2 years, we've made over $100,000. Right? How much was I making when I was just working?
32.
Right? 31,000. I haven't had to work at my job for the last 5 years. Is that good or good?
Yes.
Right, yes.
Thanks for that.
That's pretty impressive, Joe. Salute all this. And you bought a couple of these at auction?
Oh yeah. And these last two that came up here were our rentals. We have 5 doors that pay us, and this was an auction property we did where from purchase at auction to final sale and close, 35 days, $20,000 profit.
What's possible?
Nice.
I love it. All right, guys. So here's the plan. Here's the system. Here's part of what you will learn and how you'll do it. The person that got you here on our group will help you follow up in much more detail on what this all is. I'm just going to take you through a real quick look at what college would look like about making money, not learning about something, right? College is great. I wish I would have gone. I would have been smarter. I would have had a lot of things to talk about. But I don't know if it would have made me money. And I would have been smarter than a C+ student. Who knows? But I really quickly learned, C+ student in high school, barely paid it. I was in school most of the time. But I just, it's like, how am I applying history or this or that to making money? I see what my dad does as an insurance agent. I always wanted to get into real estate. And so with Renatus, what they've done is, and that's a website that you can go to, check it out, but we'll show you the whole system. What happened is that Bob Snyder, and I want to click you through this, get you to where we're at. Bob Snyder, the owner of Renatus, went out and looked at the Guru system, put them all in a room at one point and said, you know what, I'm going to get the who's who of, at the time, the infomercial people, the people that were really selling books and tapes and selling seminars, and said, I'm going to put you all in Vegas. Here's a weekend. Charge my people $5,000 each. I can remember exactly. We had like 300 people in the room for a 3 or 4 day weekend. I think it was a 3 day weekend. And he said, I got it. I got all the key educators in the country together. I got all my people together. That was his original plan. And each and every one of those guys and gals put up a pitch and sold their product. He sat back from to get every single person back their money. I wanted them to learn something. I didn't want them to be sold something. But that's just what happened. He revised it and he came up with this. He hired a PhD in education. I didn't know this when I first saw it. When I first saw it, I went, wow, that's kind of interesting. That's totally different. That sounds like college. Then you went to seminar. You took instructors and put them together in a system like colleges with your 101 classes, your 200 classes, your 300 level, just like college, right? You work your way up. You don't start with the major. You don't learn brain surgery to begin with. You learn the anatomy and other things about it. You go to a seminar. I did. Sat back down and they just started showing me. They did Joseph's thing. They just said, "Here's what I know. Look at all this stuff." They didn't tell them about the 4 or 5 years it took to get there. You know, so you start and put you on a learning path. Instructional system design. Small steps, slowly over time, will get you there. You know that eating pizza one day, won't get you fat. You know that running around a 3 Mile Lake once will get you skinny. But you continually run around the lake, what happens? You get skinny. You continually eat pizza. Yeah. Okay, that's the idea. It's called the slight edge. It's just a small incremental step. It's gonna be real here, guys. 95% of us are it's okay, unreal. All right, so then they sought people out in the industry that weren't just professors teaching you about something, but they came out of their day job, their business, their entrepreneurship, and taught you what they did. Happened to one person in this room that I know of.
Yeah.
They call them practitioner instructors. We don't just teach real estate investing here. We create real estate investors, and the goal of this company that we're all helping grow, building these communities, is create a millionaire entrepreneurs in America as fast as we possibly can. There's somewhere between 15 to 18,000 students that have bought this education, and it's growing, and it's expanding. We're going to show you that. They developed some live classes, but mainly this is online. That's the trend. Everything's on our phone and our computer. We don't have to leave home. We can learn about it. But you got to get out of your home and meet the people, the sellers, the buyers, the other investors. And we got some of the best support after class that you're going to see in the country. It's right here in this room. It's right in Phoenix. It's in San Diego. It's in Seattle, where we develop a community. You know, the gurus come into town and they say, take our information, learn about it. When you're done, go find the local group in town that's doing it, the RIA, Real Estate Association, the meetup, and join them. Get around other people. Okay? Outside it's the same thing. Hey, let's form a community and put our information into it. And the fraternity here is you have to own the education. You can start small, you can start all the way. Either way, same system. Okay? Well, what happened there is John and Pam became one of their instructors. John, we teach the Wealth Acceleration Mastermind. We started last night in Phoenix, taking you down one of the paths that we have not gone down yet. A lot of the classes in this we have not taken. Some we have, some we haven't. And so last night we started with 23 people up in Phoenix, and we're going to be together with them for the next 5 months, learning some of the things we already know, but learning a lot of things that we don't. Some things that when you get the money, what are you going to show for it and have when it's all said and done? So when each and every one of the 23 people said what they wanted to do, many of them said, you know, I built 50 houses, I run a business for 10 years, and I'm still in the 95%. I'm on the monthly budget. I have done 50 flips and I have nothing to show for it but a good time. Well, let's accelerate paying off our debt and accelerate our balance sheet so that we can have the network to go and do whatever we want, whenever we want. Okay? What happened to me is I became one of the instructors for Renata. So there's a handful of us that were picked up as a student. I had no idea. I was a student, an investor of 17 years experience. Said, hey, Mom, I like this. I've never seen anything like it. Sign me up. 1 year ago, I spent $32,000. You know, and it took me like 15 months to realize that there was another seminar coming. This company said, hey, here it is, all up front. There's nothing more you can buy. You can start low, you can start high. Either way, here it all is. So I'm fortunate that I've been called by Bob Snyder to teach one of his classes. I teach foreclosure. I've knocked on thousands of doors. I still get nervous today when I knock on a door. You never know who's on the inside. I'm excited, and I'm also anxious. I don't know if that's nervousness. What do you say at the door? Heck, I don't know. There's about 10 things that come out of my mouth. But I'm here about the house. I'm here to talk to you. What's your situation? You really know that you're in foreclosure. It's tough when you knock on a door of someone that's in foreclosure, and you say, hey, the house is on foreclosure, and you're on the list, and the wife has no clue, but the husband hasn't paid the bills. He goes, hey, honey, I need to talk to you for a second. There's something in here that says our house is in foreclosure. Haven't you been paying the mortgage? It happened to me once. I never said that word again to anybody. I never assumed that the person answering the door would know they're behind, because do we all communicate properly?
No.
Are some of us in the world out there scumbags? Possibly. You know, stuff happens. I'm not that one in this room. So I became one of their instructors. I teach auctions. You guys have learned it and doing it. And when you want to have some help, I come in here and help you. So the instructors in this company are players in the game, and they're not willing to give you their phone numbers and their time and their energy. We've talked with different people in this room, okay? So what happens is Bob Snyder someday comes by your house. This is our $1 million fix and flip. We have success stories from coast to coast going around, and Bob Snyder said, you know what, I want to show people in the world, country, where we are making money and how we're doing it, from Georgia to Phoenix to different parts of, you know, the country, New York, all over, and he went around and he picked us because he's hearing what we're doing in this deal. This is our $1 million house, tennis court here, elevator here, pool there, just for kicks. It is 88 steps from our car door to the office up on top. It's 4 stories, 7,000 plus square feet. My knees hurt. I'm upstairs. It's just crazy. But Bob came by and says, John, even though you do auctions, and this isn't an auction house, auctions is so widespread of what different ways you can do. We're doing what we call a live-in fix and flip. We're living in this house, fixing and flipping it for a huge gain that will have no tax on the first $500,000.
I know, right?
Okay? That's what it looks like from halfway up. You can see the mountains out on Swamp Peak or Piestewa Peak, Camelback's that way. Pamela, going down to the pool. We'll go quick, honey. I know you're in a bathing suit there. There's the pool, and there's our house. And
Beautiful.
it's just a great property on an acre. Changing and doing some things to it. But we've lived there a little over 2 years now. We're getting ready to do the major on it. We're in the permit process.
That's beautiful.
And delayed in the
Beautiful.
permit process.
Yes.
Some certainty, some opportunity. The certainty is, I think our city is lame on how they handle things. And I think the contractor's partly lame on how he's handling things. And so you have that up together. Unfortunately, it's taking longer. And it's really the city just, you know, giving us some setbacks. But that's our cool project. Here's the plan, okay? Go real quickly through it. This is the foundation. You know, the principle in the biblical world is to build your house on a rock and it withstands the storm. Build it on sand and it washes away. You become a wandering generality. You become a drifter, right? But you know what you're doing and you do something solid, you know, whether it's on that realm or the financial realm. Get started with some things up here to accelerate and manage your wealth before you get into real estate's the way to go. It's taught backwards. People I learned from taught me this way. There's 4 classes up here. Combine these 2 together. Then a colonel in the army took this and he said, you know what? Everybody in America and everybody in college and high school should learn how to reduce their debt, how to set up themselves. We already talked about all these things, right? Set up themselves a business, take their money, Stephen, you guys, and direct it into retirement accounts. And then eventually you understand your credit so that credit works for you. You know, everything that you do financially is based, your insurance, your credit cards is all based on your credit rating. If you're just, hey, I don't have credit, I don't care, I'm cash and carry, well, you're going to pay more for it, right? So we start you out here. And we'll tell you the pricing on here in a second. But we break it down into, there's some core classes, there's some strategic classes, strategy, right? Get prepared, learn, plan, and then there's some bonus classes that are added. We combine them all, vibration type things, efficiency things, up to really high vibrations. Learn that way. You take a jog around the lake once a day, once a month, whatever it is, but get yourself up to the point of actually doing it and have a workout buddy. Here's how it works. There's actually 11 of these guys, so you're welcome to take the picture if you want. We will review this with you more, but that's managing your business. We'll show you the two tracks that I have gone through with Pam, and we're currently starting the other one, you know, and taking masterminds and study groups through. Wholesaling and lease options and auctions. Let you look at some of those classes. You will see some of the classes duplicated in some of the tracks because they're that important. You have a chance within the company to buy 2 of these or all of them. And so the classes are broken out, some of them are in multiple tracks. The wholesaling lease options, I've done a lot of lease options. Done 9 of them here in Phoenix area, a dozen or more up in Washington. I love the options. Fix and flip, that's where we took those 10 classes. I started with this one. Then I went to, what was it? Started with this one, and then this one, since there it is. Got their money worked out. That's how we got them to raise $6 million over plus, and did 42 deals. So we took each one of those classes, broke them up over 2 weeks, 4 hours a week, come back and review it, take some action steps. It's not just learning something, and understanding it, it's actually doing something with it that makes a difference. The learning happens out in the field. The learning happens when I hear what Ray just did or what Doug just did. And that learning is, I don't have to go through that. I can accelerate my way to do it, or I can avoid that drop, that pitfall, right? Buy and hold. There's your, I've never been taught how to do home inspections by anybody until I got here. Home inspections is one of the best negotiation tools to get a price reduced out of a seller that's out there. Because you can come back with a laundry list of things that are wrong and say, hey, either fix this or I'm walking or drop your price. Right? Multifamily, it all seems like we go, wasn't it Monopoly? Little red houses, was it red houses?
Greenhouses.
Greenhouses on the apartments.
Red
We'll
House,
think that way.
Red Hotel.
That is one of our most popular groups up in Phoenix right now. Right now, in our group. Guy, Sean Wade, is really making a difference with people. No tenants, no toilets, or termites. This is seller financing, understanding notes. This is one of our second most favorite. Love it. Get your money to work. Find other people's assets that are losing it, and find a way to renegotiate with people and take over their property. Take control, right? Short sales and foreclosures. Short sales will come back. They're still out there, they work, you need to know about it. There's multiple ways to do deals. When we showed you the foreclosure deal, short sales is one of the strategies over here that got you over to there. Discount the bank, or watch it at the auction and take the discount at the auction, okay? Commercial. This was not in the classes when I bought it, nor were some of the notes in seller financing. It just keeps getting added. It's no extra cost to me. Retiring in real estate. Isn't that the dream? Look at some of the classes. This is how you take a house and exchange it for another house and upgrade yourself from the houses to the apartment. One of the things that's really critical, we'll get to this. Wealth acceleration. This is where Pam and I are at. We just started this. And we're going from top to bottom. And we just started yesterday, and we're understanding your investor ID. Who you're buying from, who the seller is, you need to understand them, but who you're really serving is the person that you're selling to. So if your upfront strategy is to get houses with a discount, you're going to work your best at that, but you're not serving that person, you're just helping them get out. Smooth and friendly, get out of the way, because I'm serving someone over here that's a tenant, a lease option person, a vacation rental person. I got a client that will buy almost anything if I can just get a little discount out of you. So if you understand that you're buying maybe from a Walmart person and you're selling to a Target person, or Target, is that what it's called?
Yeah. Target.
Something like that, Macy's. It's very fascinating. If you get this down, you won't go do stuff that doesn't fit your identity. And go out and do wholesaling for months and months and months and realize, you know what, I don't like this. I'd rather do fix and flip, or vice versa. Some people in our group, that's exactly what they said. If I knew my identity better, I would not have done so much so long. I would have focused on exactly what it is. We want you to understand you as much as you understand this. So, that's just some of the majors. That's how we break it down. How you get started here? This is the pricing. The essentials, the foundation. Let's round it up. $2,000. You can pick 2 of those tracks that I just showed you and buy 2 of those advanced learning paths. You can combine that, and we suggest everybody combines it. We'll show you that in a second. This and that for $8,000. These are your buying, your investment options here with the group. And there's a lot of things we'll teach you and talk to you about when you sit down with us to really understand what it is. And you can buy everything that you saw plus this. And we'll show you that slide in a second. There you go. That's all you can spend with this company. That's all you can invest. That's it. Right up front. My first seminar cost me $6,300. My next one, 10. My next one, 12. At that point, I was coming close to 30. And when another one was coming, I could not believe it. Man alive, who are you people? Already learned enough. I got enough 3-ring binders at home. Okay? And so how we break that down is start here if this fits you more financially. We want you to start somewhere. We want you to check us out, start with us, if it's the right fit for you. And we're looking for you, you're looking for us. If not, start somewhere, go get a mentor, go to a guru class, learn it online, some people do. The main thing is that you take that opportunity, change a certain year of life to something that's gonna work. We want you to be here, but that's the decision you have to make. And some of these disclaimers say that. You can combine it, these are the 3 most popular purchases. Buy this, buy 2 of them, plus this, or buy everything that we've done. Okay? We're growing this community. We're getting trained boots on the ground. This place is going up. Every hand in this room will be raised after a while. It was almost 75% of you guys raised your hand. They're doing deals. All right. We have complimentary lifetime access with some of the classes. Yeah, explains there. You have a 12-month period in which to watch them. You pay $20 grand here, you get everything. You buy the essentials. But if you just pick 2 tracks, then we're going to treat it like college. We're real good on those 2 tracks. We started since 2011. It's 2019. Company's rated A+ in Utah Better Business Fair. That's where they're from. And this is what it looks like from Renatus. One more, let's go. Is there one more after that? That's it. So there's live classes in the studio that you can get to. Any published package you buy, a lot of this comes with it. You can catch it online and watch the classes being re-recorded. Mine has been recorded now twice. It's updated. I've been around the companies for 5-6 years. With my first class, I re-recorded it last year. You can either watch it from home, you can go to the studio and watch it, or you can watch it when it comes out. Every week we have group coaching where people call in around the country with their deals, their questions, their dilemmas, and you can hear by other people. When you buy everything that we've got, you'll get 6 one-on-one coaching sessions from one of the probably most knowledgeable foreclosure guys in the country, even including myself. Gavin McHale is incredible. In your first call, he'll sit down with you and just find out about you, what you want, where you're at, kind of work on your investor IDs, class material, and have you come out of it with 1, if not 2, really good strategies that work for you and your market. Okay? And we say if you have the will, we have the way. We're just showing you the way. We feel, the name Renatus is going to become a name like the University of Phoenix is what we believe. And 15 years ago, no one knew what the University of Phoenix was, but we all know what the University of Phoenix is now, right? People want a different way of learning how to get somewhere, and not take 4, 6 to 8 years to do it. I want to learn a path. I want to go down, become that, and that's what they've done. The University of Phoenix is the model. It's very similar to what we do. There's funding out there. Like I said in the fix and flip class that we had, it made $6.3 million. Finding money is critical. And if that scares you to find $2 grand, $8 grand, or 20 grand, we're going to teach you the best way we can. If you can find a way to drum up that kind of money for education to get trained, what do you think your chances are to go out and find 50 to 100 to 200,000 like some of the people are here to do real estate? Or do you want to just go out and say, hey, I want you to invest in my house at $200,000 and not have any experience with raising capital? Okay? So, we have funding, and there's 100% acceptance with a minimum down payment. It's similar to hard money. We'd like you to find a better way than doing hard money with this. Let's find soft, friendly money. But when it comes down to it, there is a hard money way to get into education. We'll get you in. Here's where we're going to get close to ending with you guys. Part of our dream back last month, right, baby? Hey, that's my family. I'm behind the camera. Let's pretend I'm in the picture. My family's a little bit smaller, but my dad had his ashes spread in Monument Valley. You got a picture of that up on the screen when we started. Your screensaver. Monument Valley up in Arizona or Utah, right there on the border. So Dad's ashes were spread there, 15 years ago. And Mom's wishes were that her ashes got spread with Dad's ashes. So 6 o'clock in the morning, about a month ago, my sister, my brother, my wife, and one of my cousins, or nephew, we spread Mom's ashes. We got to do that, you know, so spending time with family is my point. And there's another version of a family. The picture should be bigger, but this is Pam's family. My brother was funny when I got married and Pam had 3 kids, 6 grandkids. Hope it's okay to say that, because now I have 3 kids and 6 grandkids. He goes, man, John, you just had 9 people added to the family, and like a minute. And he said, I boom, 6 kids, 6 grandkids. But spending time and being with our family, that's a family photo. And, you know, I'll have to say that my father passed away last month too. And we gracefully spent some time with her father over the last year and a half, and spent some really good time getting to know him and helping him gracefully go to his next spot. And, you know, when the night came and the day came, guess who was with him? His daughter and his son-in-law. My son-in-law? Stepson,
Yes,
whatever.
your
I forget. But, you know,
Stepdad, son-in-law.
we,
There you go.
I'm his favorite son. He had 2 daughters. There's Pam there somewhere, but you know, we got really the joy of being able to spend that time, and we took days off, nights off. I actually did a conference call from the hospital because I have a team phone call that happens on a given day, and so the nurses were nice enough to say, use that room, and I did a conference call with our team. And so here's what happens by local events. Renatus is the information. That's the horsepower. That's the information. The real horsepower is what you do with it, and that's done here. And so we hold monthly workshops. We have weekly study groups coming up. That's what we implement, is take that information in a group format, call it study group, call it mastermind, and let's take this deeper, and let's make this thing work. Let's learn by other people's results. Let's learn by our own results. You can do more in maths. For me, the difference is what else I had. Daily webinars and calls, there's so much to choose from, it's overwhelming if you really want to get down to it. We tour our properties on a regular basis so you can see who's been to a property tour. There, yes. Come out and check us out and see some of our properties, how we found them, how we put them, and who we sold them. So what happened to me was I did 8 deals a year, 12 months. Did I say this already? I don't know that I have. Prior to Renatus, the highest I could get was 8 transactions in a 12-month period. The difference maker here, when I went into this education system 12 months after, was I did 25 transactions. The year after that, 37, and the high water mark for me has been 42 deals in a year. Took me 17 years, and I never broke 8. 3 years after doing it this way, I hit 42. Here's what happens here in this group. This is what we have. This is where we're at. Okay, this is the schedule. Every Thursday we're going to be here. You're in orientation, showing you what we do, how we do it, what it is. Right? Come back and join us for one of our workshops. What we're going to do is break our fraternity. Those of you who have been assimilated now are part of the board. We're going to put you in. I hope that's a good thing. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I want to be assimilated. I want to be at the 5% assimilate me. But these are the things that we're going to start working down. Right now in Phoenix, we have 7 of these. We've been going for a while. We have 200 people up there. A little bigger city than Tucson. But we're going through this. When you come back, here's what happens. You get more velocity banking and some of the search engines, the power behind the education that we use. And here's the next 2 events that we've got coming. You can register for our property tour this weekend on East Holmes Street. Or Facebook marketing happens.
Yeah, both are happening on Saturdays.
Both are all
Property
on
tour in the
Saturday.
morning, then we'll be back here at office for Facebook training.
And then next Thursday, what you'll get, those of you that want to come back and understand velocity banking. So this is a weekly rotation that we're going to grow into, and we're going to have mastermind study groups on these things, and then we will have weekly trainings on these to give people that are new a take and a look at this. So if you have friends, family, and people around you that want to learn us, they'll listen to this, they'll meet you, and they'll come back if you're interested, because they really are interested, like most people. This is what they want to hear. And then they'll decide if this is a fit for them. So your next step is to connect the person that brought you here, got you here, and decide what you want to come back and check out. And so I'm finished for tonight. Ray, I'm going to kick this back over to you since you started with me, and you can say a word about this. I thank you guys.
Okay, so grab your phones, take a picture. Property tour. This is Claire, Doug, Frank, Raina. This is their property. You guys got a lot of rehab going on right now, so you are going to be having what, drywall taking place? Who's working this Saturday?
Yeah, it's a construction zone, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go around the back.
On the left side to the garage.
Right.
East side of the house to
So the right. Okay.
yeah, the east side of the house to the south facing.
So the side that the sun's coming up on. Go around that side, around the back.
And then we'll
That
go
way-
to the yard, and then we'll definitely try to get into the house. There's definitely been some progress.
Okay, perfect.
Huge
Yeah.
progress.
So we'll go around the right side of the property. So when you get to the property, just see where everybody's going. That way we don't fall into a hole. But they have insurance. Just let's try not to use it. Okay, then we will be back here. Good friend of ours is doing a awesome training in Chicago, actually. We're going to be live streaming it in here, also having a chance to discuss mastermind on marketing tactics, strategies, and just growing your influence and brand on social media. So that just helps in all the realms of whatever it is that you're trying to do. So this will be absolutely something you just don't want to miss. And I'll be right here. And next Thursday, we have Velocity Banking. So what John was talking about, strategically learn how to offset debt, loans, and effectively pay off mortgages in 1/3 the time without increasing your income. Now, if you increase your income, you just and increase the velocity in which you pay your debt down. So that's something you just want to reach out to whoever invited you here, and they can get you scheduled because there's limited space for this. So make sure you get registered early. This week was a little bit of that training in a separate room. Yes.
Tomorrow night's a cash flow, and I forgot to mention that during our meeting time.
Cash flow.
You wanna tell people where it's at and everything?
Hey, folks. I do want to say something really fast. Anais, wasn't that awesome? Look, that's not even a 16th of what you'll get. However, I wanted to say this to Anais. Anais, remember to get with your business credit advisors, all right? Let them know what you just told me, okay? Absolutely. You're not alone, okay? You are not alone in this. Man, there are so many ways to not only build your business credit, which CB, you should be turned on by tomorrow. And also you'll get that other thing we were talking about no later than Tuesday, okay? So, boy, folks, if you have any questions on the real estate investing, just let me know, okay? CreditWiz and InvestorPro.org, all right? We are here for you. Ray was still talking. He is a talkathon, isn't he? Goodness gracious, man. So CB, Anais, Dwayne. Listen, Dwayne, did you go to the Scott Rowe event there in Chicago? Gave you the address and everything. Definitely want you to go, man. I definitely want you to go. Yes, I think that would be a very good thing for you, especially what we were talking about. And so, man, see, I can't wait to work with you tomorrow, starting tomorrow. And Anais, Dwayne, whole bunch of people, Mike, Charles, man, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be an awesome 3rd and 4th quarter because this is brand new, right? We got John McCants, the practitioner instructor that I've been talking about, that has instructed me, taught me about velocity banking and the different elements that are involved in business ownership and real estate investing. Folks, I just want you to rise with us, right? You saw how many people were doing deals. You saw the deal. That was the first deal. When this got up, that was my first deal. The house that shown first. Just letting you know about that. Net proceeds of like $57 grand. It was good. It was really good. However, we got a whole lot more to do, as well as the multifamily as well. So we're getting into that space as well. Caesar, haven't forgot about you. And so, folks, that was it. That was it. Just let me know what you think, where you want to go. Do you just want to build a business, or do you want to get into real estate investing as well? Boy, I believe you can do both. All right, like I have. So, God bless. You have a good night. I'm about to call some people. Bug, that's you. All right, you take care. Have a good one. CreditWiz and InvestorPro.org if you have any questions.